Welcome back, everyone, to The Deep Dive. This is where we take a whole stack of compelling ideas and really boil them down to what matters for you. Today, we're diving deep into something I think is super relevant for a lot of our listeners. The whole world of morning rituals of high-performance men over 40. There's this common idea that hitting 40 means, well, things start going downhill. But the material we looked at for this deep dive, it makes this really bold claim. Turning 40 is actually the start of your most powerful decade. Which sounds great, but then you look at the actual challenges guys over 40 face. We're talking, hormone levels changing, way more stress maybe from work, family, recovery takes longer, and just, well, the general wear and tear of living for 4 decades. It kind of makes you think, how do you square that circle?
Yeah, and that's where the strategy comes in. A really key insight from the sources is that these high-performance guys, they don't just sort of grit their teeth and fight aging. They actually optimize for it. That's the phrase.
Optimize for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. They see these challenges, the hormones, the stress, not as stop signs, but as like variables they need to actively manage. And they use these very specific, intentional morning habits to keep their edge, sometimes even sharpen it. It's not just positive thinking. It's strategic. It's an investment in their own biology, their mental state.
That makes sense. A crucial difference there. And the sources, they talk about a secret to this optimization, built around what they call the 4 pillars of morning excellence. So we're going to get into strategic cold exposure, targeted nutrition, intentional breathwork, and smart supplementation. And this is the important bit for you listening. These aren't just, the latest wellness fads you see online.
Right.
These are described as scientifically backed strategies that compound over time to create extraordinary results.
So what is it about these specific practices that makes them so effective for this group?
Let's unpack that. Okay, so pillar number 1, cold exposure. The sources actually call it the performance accelerator. Now, I got to be honest, when I hear cold showers, part of me just thinks, torture. Why?
Yeah, I get that reaction. It sounds pretty unpleasant. But the point isn't just about being tough. The sources frame it as recalibrating your baseline energy and focus. You're using that acute stress, the cold, intentionally to basically switch on your body's own resilience mechanisms.
Okay, how does that work physiologically?
Well, hitting your body with cold water triggers some amazing responses. Like norepinephrine can jump by up to 530%.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is basically like a natural reset for your brain's energy and focus systems. Keeps you sharp for hours. Plus, it boosts brown fat activation. That's huge for guys over 40 because brown fat helps burn calories more efficiently, counteracting that metabolic slowdown.
Yeah.
And you get a nice dopamine release, too, which helps with mood, motivation, a sustained natural high almost.
So it's not just in your head. There are real biological shifts happening.
Exactly.
Measurable changes.
And the suggested way to start is simple. Pretty simple. Start your shower warm like usual, then just finish with maybe 2 or 3 minutes of cold. The key is gradually making it colder over time. Consistency is what matters, not freezing yourself on day 1.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
And then, for people who want more, there are ice baths, cold plunges. They offer a stronger hormetic stress effect.
Hormetic stress. That's the idea that a little bit of stress makes you stronger.
Precisely. It can lead to better recovery, stronger immune function, that kind of thing.
Okay, interesting. Let's move to pillar 2 then. Nutritional precision. Specifically, the high-performance smoothie. The sources really stress that men over 40 can't just grab whatever for breakfast. It needs to be intentional.
You nailed it. That's the core idea. It's precision fueling tailored to the specific metabolic shifts of aging and maximizing nutrient absorption when your body's most ready for it, which is often first thing in the morning.
So what goes into this precision fuel?
The foundation they suggest is solid, about 25-30 grams of high-quality protein. Healthy fats are key, too, like MCT oil or avocado. They give sustained energy.
MCTs.
Yeah.
Good for brain fuel, too, right?
Exactly. Quick, clean fuel for brain and body. Then some complex carbs, berries, maybe a bit of banana for glycogen. And don't forget micronutrients. Throw in spinach or spirulina.
Spirulina, okay. That's packed with stuff.
Oh, yeah, vitamins, antioxidants, and the timing's important, too. Drink it within about 30 minutes of waking up. That's when your body is apparently primed to absorb nutrients really efficiently for muscle repair and energy.
So it really is like a strategic fuel injection, not just breakfast.
That's a good way to put it.
And you can tweak it. The sources mention customizing it.
Absolutely. You can add things like adaptogens. Ashwagandha is a popular one, which help your body handle stress better, or nutrients specifically for, say, testosterone support or cognitive function. You mentioned brain fog.
Yeah, who doesn't get that sometimes?
Right. So maybe you add blueberries, walnuts for a cognitive boost, or if you train hard, tart cherry juice and turmeric for recovery. It's adaptable.
Very cool. Okay, that leads us to pillar 3, breathwork, called the nervous system reset. This feels like the one people might overlook the most. Breathing. We do it all the time.
We do, but usually unconsciously. The power here is in the intentional breathwork. How can something so basic be so powerful? Well, the sources explain it acts like a direct control panel for your nervous system.
Control panel. How so?
By consciously controlling your breath, you can directly influence your nervous system state. You can actually downregulate stress hormones like cortisol and shift yourself almost instantly into a state of calm focus, which is obviously huge for mental performance.
What kind of techniques are we talking about?
Simple but effective ones, like the
Yeah.
4-7-8 method. You inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Very calming. Or box breathing, inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. Navy SEALs famously use that for focus under pressure.
Ah, okay. I've heard of that one.
Yeah, practicing these builds resilience to stress over time. And for those wanting to go deeper, there's the Wim Hof method that combines specific breathing with cold exposure. And the claims are pretty impressive. Better oxygen efficiency, boosted immune function. Basically learning to consciously influence your autonomic nervous system.
That mental clarity, that stress resilience. It's invaluable, especially in high-pressure jobs.
Totally. The sources even make a sort of business case for it, saying it's not just wellness fluff, it's a competitive advantage, better decisions, better emotional control. It really does shift your state quickly.
Okay, pillar 4, strategic supplementation, described as the optimization edge. So the sources are saying diet first, obviously, but supplements might be needed for men over 40.
Precisely. Food is always the foundation, but the reality is as men age, nutrient absorption can decline, and sometimes needs actually increase. So targeted supplementation can fill those gaps.
What are the basics they recommend?
The foundational stack usually includes things like vitamin D3, crucial for hormones, immunity, magnesium for sleep, muscle function, omega-3s for inflammation and brain health, and a good B complex for energy metabolism and stress management.
Standard stuff, mostly. Anything specific highlighted?
Yes, one area that got particular emphasis was supporting nitric oxide production.
Nitric oxide.
Yeah.
Right, that declines with age, doesn't it? And it's important for blood flow.
Exactly. Crucial for circulation, heart health, energy, even cognitive function. And yes, levels naturally drop as we get older.
So the sources pointed to ways to support that.
Yeah, they highlighted some innovative approaches, specifically mentioning products focused on next-generation nitric oxide support, often designed specifically for the physiology of men over 40, maybe using advanced delivery systems to make sure your body can actually use it effectively.
Maximum bioavailability.
Right. The goal is enhancing blood flow. That means better performance in the gym, faster recovery afterwards, but also better circulation to the brain for sharper thinking and sustained energy without relying on stimulants.
And I guess that ties back into the other pillars, too.
Absolutely. That's the synergistic part. Better circulation means nutrients from your smoothie get delivered more efficiently. Your body utilizes oxygen better during breath work. You adapt better to the cold exposure.
Why?
It's like upgrading your body's internal delivery system, making everything else you're doing work even better. It's that optimization edge.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. Let's try and bring it together. What does this all mean for you, the listener? The big message seems to be, look, your 40s can be your most powerful decade. It's not inevitable decline.
Right.
But it needs a strategic approach.
Yeah.
It needs intention. We talked about cold exposure, building that resilience, recalibrating energy, strategic nutrition, that high-performance smoothie, fueling optimization effectively.
Precision fueling, yeah.
Breath work, giving you that mental clarity, that nervous system control, and then smart supplementation, like supporting nitric oxide, filling gaps, and actually boosting the effects of the other rituals.
So the logical question is, how do you actually make this happen? How do you stick with it? And the sources are really clear on this. Consistency beats perfection every single time. It's all about the compound effect.
The compound effect, like small daily actions adding up.
Exactly. These small, consistent morning practices, they build on each other. The sources even give a rough timeline. By month 1, you'll probably feel more energy, maybe a better mood. By month 3, You start seeing physical changes recovering faster, maybe body composition shifts. Month 6, that's when mental clarity and stress resilience really seem to kick in noticeably. And by a year of consistency, the idea is you've essentially rewired your biology for sustained high performance. It's a process. Small wins add up.
So it really comes down to a choice, doesn't it? The sources pose it directly. Will you just accept age-related decline because, well, that's what happens?
Yeah.
Or will you use these strategies, these proven approaches, to actually thrive?
Yeah.
And the advice isn't do everything perfectly starting tomorrow. It's just start.
Just start somewhere.
Pick one thing, the one that resonates most. Maybe it's just 2 minutes of cold at the end of your shower, or 5 minutes of that box breathing before you check your phone. Because, as the sources powerfully put it, how you start your day really does determine how you live your life.
Remember that core message. You're not just getting older, you're getting better. But that getting better part, it only happens if you choose to optimize for it.